Thank you for watching this short video. For those who don't know me, I'm Brother Sean, and I'm an enclosed lay monastic monk, a Franciscan monk, and a member of the Teo community of St. Francis. The theme of this video is your life going full circle. Whoa. Well, I have to be truthful. Mine has. Mine certainly has. I've done a full circle. I'm back to where I started. Are you? Let me explain. When I was a 16-year-old lad growing up in Dublin, I was guided to become a nursing monk. So Mum and Dad drove me down to a place called Cove, County Cork in Southern Ireland. I said my goodbyes to my family. Lots of tears, smoking myself to death, Mum and Dad arguing like cat and dog in the front of the car. And then they handed over their eldest son to this gaunt-looking man who was the novice master for the next 3 years. That was 1966. And in 1974, I could take no more of the life as an ordained nursing monk. I just could not settle in it. I found the bitching, the uncharitableness, the selfishness, but more than anything, I found the reprogramming and the control and the fear and guilt so unhealthy that I joined the ranks of many thousand other nursing monks, and I just had to get out for my own sanity. And I vowed that that was it. I left the Catholic Church because I was ill with overdosing on false piety, pretending to be what I wasn't. Oh, I looked holy enough, but I also had a face that would trip up a double-decker bus. I was not happy. I was miserable. And look what's happened 40-odd years later. I've gone back full circle. What is going on? But there is a difference. Then it was out of fear. Now it's out of love. I had an interesting email from one of my students who's a retired professional to say that they were thinking of becoming a member of the Teo community, but they had some reservations because they were afraid that they had to change. They had to change. And however hard we try to explain this life of being a member of a loving community that's online, where we meet as brothers and sisters who are equal, from all lifestyles, all age groups, all colours, creeds, beliefs. We have only one rule of life, and that is our rule of life, the one that we are encouraged to write ourselves, honouring our spiritual paths. We are not encouraged to leave our husband, our wife, our children, our mistresses. We're not encouraged to give up our part-time hobby of being Miss Whiplash. Forgive me. We are not encouraged to become someone we're not. What we are is a child of God. And we accept our members with sincerity of heart. And all we ask of them is to be truthful to their heart. Yes, we have an initiation program where they do the Tree of Life course, where they rediscover who they are. And if there is dormant residual energies of a negative mindset, or if there's deep-rooted inner woundedness from a childhood scenario, then they are faced through the eyes of love. They're acknowledged, they're reclaimed, they're blessed and released. But I want to read this to you from Eckhart Tolle. The mind exists in a state of not enough, and so is always greedy for more. When you are identified with mind, you get bored and restless very easy, as I've done all my life. I've been searching for the green hills above the mountain, and they're not there, they're here. Boredom means the mind is hungry for more stimulus, more food for thought, and its hunger is not being satisfied. Is that where you are? When you feel bored, you can satisfy the mind's hunger by picking up a magazine, making a phone call, switching on the TV, surfing the web, going shopping, or, and this is not uncommon, transferring the mental state of lack and its need for more to the body, and satisfy it briefly by ingesting more food or by engaging in illicit, high-risk, unsafe sex. Now there's one for you. Or you can stay bored and restless and observe what it feels like to be bored and restless. Bring it on, sister. As you bring awareness to the feeling, there is suddenly some space and stillness around it, as it were. A little at first, but as the sense of inner space grows, the feeling of boredom will begin to diminish in intensity and significance. So even boredom can teach you who you are and who you are not. You discover that a bored person is not who you are. Boredom is simply a conditioned energy movement within you. Neither are you an angry, sad, or fearful person. Boredom, anger, sadness, or fear are not yours, not personal. They are conditions of the human mind. They come and go, like life, full circle. Nothing that comes and goes is you. I am bored. Who knows this? I am angry, sad, and afraid. Who knows this? You are the knowing, not the condition that is known. Going full circle. Well, when I started nursing as a nursing monk back in 1971 in Manchester, doing my 3-year course to graduate as a qualified state registered nurse, my gosh, it was strict. The new generation of nurses today who are doing their degrees, they don't know they're born. It was so tough. It was like slave labour, a 60-hour week for £2.50 a week. Hello. The money was dreadful, but we were happy. We had all the old-fashioned traditions, and then they were all jettisoned because the pioneers in America were saying, we need to come into the 21st century, honey. We need to use big, loud words, noisy words. They were empty words. They wanted to bring in the academia, to polish up the training and make it more meaningful and acceptable to the academic mind. So Florence Nightingale and the bedside care that we groomed, nurtured for years, centuries, was also jettisoned. We threw out the baby with the bathwater, and in came multiple infections, MRSA. People were coming into hospital to have a breast off or to have some vascular surgery, and they were going home with a debilitating illness called MRSA. In jettisoning a lot of the old established rituals, treatments, therapies, lotions and potions from the earth, a gift from Gaia, Mother Earth, we brought on all this new scientific rubbish that has really only masked the symptoms and not dealt with the cause. And it would appear now that even in nursing, I remember nursing in Chicago as an Alexian monk, they phased out the LPN, the licensed practitioner, and England was 20 years behind America, and Wales, where I lived, was 10 years behind England, so that was 30 years. Then we started phasing out our SEN, LPN, but they've brought them back. So it's gone full circle. And it's the same in the spiritual life. We are a child of God. We may have come through a religious family such as a Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, a Hindu, a Sikh, a Jew, whatever. But a lot of us have had this reprogramming going on, leaving us with a low self-worth, low self-esteem. And later on in life, we realize we have a lot of tragedies to deal with. We have a lot of growing up to do. We have to face our fear. We have to embrace it, to bless it, to reclaim it, and release it. And many today who came through that school of thought, though we have struggled, we are now free. Because we're free of a mindset that has controlled our love and our heart. And we can now embrace God as a free person.